so my current focus is changing the culture to a culture of collaboration. And I just published an article in something called The Linkage Leader, called Organizational Development Through Creating Culture Change to Allow for Implementation. My theory is that now in the 21st century, especially following the business upheaval that it's not over, we're having, where people are having to look at things differently, that what we're going to come out of it with a sense that collaboration is not just fluff or a waste of time or touchy-feely, but it's actually the way to create the results that people are going to need to have a stronger focus on what they're doing and to kind of eliminate the things that really don't work. So I think focusing on alignment, people being aligned with each other and being aligned with goals and making collaboration important is a really important thing.
Issues outside of the mix.
Well, in a sense, that can be true, but said in a different way, which is that relationship doesn't necessarily have to be intimate, personal relationship where you get intimate with someone. It has to do with directly connecting with another human being. And so some of my work is around how do you directly connect so that you're heard and so that you can begin to create engagement and relationship even around specific things, but at a deeper level. So there's a deeper level of cooperation between people. One of my things is that on executive teams, competition is really encouraged. And that what needs to be encouraged is alignment and collaboration, which would mean in the ideal world, you would go into a corporate leadership team meeting and you would actually ask another one of the leaders there for some assistance with something going on in your own department. Never happens. People have to look good.
Yes.
And so that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And I think warmth can come from that. But I'm not going in there saying, we all got to be touchy-feely and warm, because the other thing I've realized that, of course, there are many, many business leadership retreats, all kinds of things that people go on. But if there's no follow-up, if there's no real continuation, we all know that behavior doesn't change overnight.
Yeah.
And that it needs to keep being reinforced. And so bringing it into the business and having, meetings that have some piece around the development of the team and the individuals, as well as let's get down to business and get these goals met, that really needs to be a combination.
So I hear you really... You're discerning a distinction, to use a little fancy jargon terms, differentiating deeply connected relationship from certain qualities of relationship. In other words, people tend to think of deeply connected in terms of personal relationship, romantic relationship, family relationship, and so forth. And there are aspects of that are not appropriate for a business situation. But a lot of times people are throwing the baby out with the bathwater,
right,
so to speak, and say, well, we can't have that kind of relationship here in the business, therefore it's not appropriate to really be connected with each other. We need to keep a certain degree of wall among each other, and then people wonder why there's miscommunications or there are aspects of systems that aren't being followed through because there's not a clear connection going on.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it.